what they stand for. When we started, Ann wrote what we call Why Posh, and there are several different parts that make up what this company is. And one part in particular I wanted to highlight today. And that says, we love what we do because you deserve to be pampered. From our incentives and awards to the products you use, to the time you spend interacting with us and beyond, you should be taken care of. You're amazing. You give so much to others. We hope your time with Posh fills you up so that you're able to exceed your own expectations and give more in all aspects of your life. It's pampering with a purpose. And right from the very beginning, when we recognized the opportunity to start a business at all, we looked back to our experience that we had positive and negative in the workplace as customers, and we put it all together, and there was one common thread that linked all of it. And that's that we wanted to do the right thing for the right reasons, and we wanted to focus on people. So we're going to highlight a couple of different ways in which we do that in the company today to help you understand a little bit more about where we have come from with the brand and why we have made some of the decisions that we have focusing on people. Now, one thing that's interesting about doing the right thing the right way is that sounds really, really good until you start a company and you work with thousands of great consultants and you have all of these amazing employees that work for us. You find out very quickly that there's a reason that all of these other big companies do things the same. I used to think for a long time that it was because they were these dark villains, right? All these companies were run by these evil masterminds that were out to get you, to cheat you out of something, to give you a bad experience. And sometimes companies can develop this kind of image, right? You buy their product or you work with a company and you feel like you don't matter to them. Feel like you're just a number, feel like you're just another phone call, you're just another name on a list. We felt that too as customers, and we felt that too as business owners. But it's, as I said, it's one thing to say we want to do the right things for the right reasons. We find out very quickly that this is the path less traveled. That the reason these big companies do this is not because they're these evil, dark lords, it's because it's easy. And it's a challenge that confronts us every day. Are we really who we say we are? Are we going to find a way to make it work? And really, the best way to position this in our minds to do this the right way is we can't start with what's easiest for us. We have to start in every aspect of the company on what the perfect experience is for you. What experience are we trying to provide for your customer? And if we can get that right, then we can work backwards. And no matter what we end up with by the time we get back to our role in that, we need to find a way to make it work. It's not always easy, but it's absolutely the commitment that we have made. It's the reason that we did this from the first. We need to put people first. Now, I want to highlight a couple different things about that we've come up with at Posh, and I hope that you don't just see this as something that we did 4 years ago when we started some company. This is you. You're a part of this. And your business works best when you put people first too. When you think about we simply pampering, you deserve to be pampered, it is about that experience. And we hope that you can all make that connection today. The first I'd like to talk about is our products. We don't sit down with manufacturers and say, what is the easiest thing to produce? What ingredients do you have on hand? Let's just throw those together and go sell them. And there's some companies that do that. They try to find the biggest profit margin or the way that they can get the money out of your pocket as fast as possible. We don't do that. We start with a pampering experience and we work backwards. That even happens when we have a great product. And we used to have a healer in a tin way when we first started. And all of a sudden we looked at it and said, look, this would be much better in a skin stick. It's how people use it. It's going to make it a lot more portable, easier to access. This happens with every product. That's why you see so many products in this catalog and in past catalogs where we recognize something that will make it better for you and for your customers, and then we make that update to packaging. We make it more convenient, we make it better. We used to have some products that leaked a little bit, and that was a lesson to learn why and to fix it, and now those are problems that we don't have as often. We need to create that experience for you and then work backwards and figure out how we can make the best products that focus on you. Next, some of the processes are important that we focus on. And one in particular I wanted to highlight. We have thousands of processes, but one that we are committed to figuring out, even though we're still a small company, even though this is very, very difficult, we want to find a way to get all of your orders to you and your customers within 2 days of placing that order. So I'll give a more full progress report tomorrow. We have Ross and Rick here who are very, very integral in pulling this off. But you may have noticed we've been making some progress. On June 1st, we opened our Louisville. I said it wrong. We opened our Louisville distribution center, and since that time, they've taken off. There were lots of individuals in our home office team that really stepped up and made that a smooth transition. The bumps that we had were very, very small, and that was because we had good people working hard to create a good experience for you. We have big, big plans to pull this off. We live in a big country, and to be able to be in a position to service you the way that we want, we need to make certain commitments to make that happen, and so tomorrow we'll talk about that timeline. Next, we want to talk about policies. Have you ever dealt with a company that doesn't care when you call with a problem? Yes, and when we feel that way here in our business, if your customer feels that way with you, it's your responsibility. If we feel that way in our relationship with you, it's our responsibility. We're not perfect, but we need to identify those. We need to learn from those, and we need to improve. The policies and the rules that govern our relationship need to be solid. One example, I even heard of this company that they have this philosophy that the more the rules, the better. And what ends up happening is you create a police state, and that's nothing that we want to live in. And so it was important to us as we created policies, these rules that govern our relationship, especially as consultants and a home office and working together to make your business successful. We only have rules where absolutely necessary. If we feel like we need a rule, if you suggest a rule, if we're seeing a certain circumstance, we sit down and we will do everything we can to not have to institute a rule, because we don't want rules to get in the way of running your business. But unfortunately, you have the right to be stupid. The trade-off is, if we create a place that has enough freedom for you that you're not buried in all of these rules, that means that sometimes we need to allow people to fail. We can't bring rules that mandate their success. We can't force them to do every single aspect that's not good for you. So we have rules only when necessary, and sometimes that means that we need to allow people to fail, to be stupid. And finally, programs. There's one example I wanted to share about the monthly award. If you look at any programs that we have as a home office, all of our programs are designed for your benefit. They need to be designed in a way so that when you participate in programs with the company, it helps your business. If that doesn't work, then we fail. That's our job in helping you. And a great example is the monthly award. We don't hand out an award every month for who sells the most healers. And we don't have just an award for the highest sales for the month either. You might have noticed that. And lots of companies do. But they do it because that's easy. We do what's right. And what's right is that you're growing your business when you have the right balance of sales and recruits. And so we give you, even within that, 3 different ways to earn the monthly award. We start with what you need and we work backwards. And it makes it a lot more complicated to run a report to figure out who earned that. Because it's not just one report and sort from top sales to bottom. But it's what's best for you. Ask any consultant in here who's earned the monthly award at least once, or maybe 3, 6, or more than 9 times in a year. It is the engine that grows your business.
Yes.
If you want your business to be bigger, earn the monthly award. And everyone that's earned it will tell you that. So look at all these things. There's an old way of doing things, and there are new values. I think they're viral values. I feel like any company that wants to succeed in the next decade and beyond needs to recognize these. We don't live in a world anymore where people can get together in some office far away and they can make these rules and just throw whatever products out and you're going to buy it because you don't care. We live in a world of information where you can get that information quickly and you can make your own decision. You need to respect your customers by giving them as much information as they want. Make it available to them. Let them try things. Let them ask. Be there for them. And when you are, that relationship of trust forms. Some of these old companies that will fail have bad ways of treating you. Let me give you the worst example that I can think of. I used to work with a company that when you returned something, let's say they shipped you something and it broke, and it was their fault because they didn't package it right. And you called and you said, hey, I got this item I paid for and it's broken. They shipped you a return, but they charged you for that new product when they shipped it to you. And they wouldn't refund you for that until they got the other one back. That is a policy completely in their favor and a horrible experience for you. It's not your fault that it's broken. That's a bad return policy. And any company that has any policy like that should be ashamed. As a customer, I want to know that a company cares that I took the time to find out about their product and I took time to purchase it. And if they can communicate that to me, they've earned my business and I'll be a loyal customer. And I think we all feel that way. These are the viral values of the next era. If we can focus on getting rid of the old ways, we will see new doors open up to us. We're at the leading edge of something special. The world is changing. We focus on freedom, fun, and flexibility for a reason here. Because it's our products, it's our policies, it's our processes and programs. When they're focused on people first, and then we work backwards, we'll be successful every time. If we're selfish on what's easiest for us, it's the old way of thinking, and we're guaranteed to fail. Now, one final thought. This is always easier said than done, isn't it? You've experienced this. As your life goes on, as your business grows, it's easier to do things with high quality when you're small because you can take care of everything. But if in your heart you really believe that you're trying to create that experience for people first, the most important thing you can do as you start to scale is maintain that quality. And that's a definition that we talk about all the time. Sustainability, a business that can sustain itself beyond, can accomplish any goal that you put in front of it. It's got to be a function of scaling to that growth plus quality. If you scale without the quality, you're just big and you don't care. If you have the quality and you care but you can't scale, you're too much of an inconvenience and all of a sudden the quality doesn't seem worth it. Perfectly Posh is a company that we focus on this sustainability, creating an individual experience, quality experience, and scaling into our growth. And so we're going to go back and forth and share a little bit more about the values that are important to us. And so I'll hand it back to Ann.